Hello viewers, welcome once again to Nofu online math class. In this video, we are going to discuss the simple and compound interest. If this is your first time of viewing, kindly consider subscribing to my channel so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. Please share this video. If you don't share it, I will know. Okay, now simple and compound interest, both of them are interest. Okay, both of them are interest, but the former is simple while the latter is compound. Now in this particular video, I'm just going to x-ray and give you the theoretical backgrounds you need to have about simple and the compound interest. Maybe in subsequent episodes of this work we can now have calculations that are involved when it comes to simple and compound interest. Okay, now what is a simple interest? A simple interest is just a kind of interest that is calculated only on the amount of money in question. That is the principle. Okay, it is just a kind of interest that is calculated upon the principle only. Let's say you borrowed 2,000 naira from a bank. The simple interest is only calculated on that 2,000 naira you borrowed. Okay, so and it is very easy to repay because the interest is not always high. So simple interest is just the interest calculated upon the principal only. That is the amount of money we are talking about. That is what happens in simple interest. But when you talk about compound interest, it is just a kind of interest that is calculated on the principal, which is the amount borrowed, and also on the accumulated interest. For example, now, if you borrow the 2,000 naira from a certain bank, at the end of the year, it gives an interest of 200 naira. The total amount you have to repay at the end of the year will now be the sum of two of them, which is 2,200 naira. If it is simple interest, in the next year, they will only calculate interest on the 2,000 naira only. For compound interest, we calculate interest on this 200 naira in the next year and also calculate interest on the interest that has been yielded already from the original principal. So instead of working on the interest you pay in the next year, that is in second year, instead of using 2,000 naira, they will use 2,200 naira. So they are compounding everything. That is why it's compound interest. They are making it to be more difficult for you. Okay, so compound interest is just a kind of interest that is calculated both on the principal, which is the amount of money in question, and also on the accumulating interest. So it is so funny. Interest is calculated on interest. Have you seen something like that? That is compound interest for you. It is very dangerous, but if you understand and know how compound interest work, you can be a great person. But if you don't understand compound interest, you may pay for it. It may cost you dearly. So compound interest is among the 8 wonders of the world. If you know it, you enjoy it. But if you don't know it, you pay it. Because now, let me tell you a little story. There is a great king that lived in a certain town, and in that particular town, anybody that steals will be stoned to death. And there is a man there. He was a great mathematician in that particular town. He loves maths, he knows compound interest, he knows how it works. But this man went to steal and he was caught. He was brought to the king, and the king told him that because you've stolen, you must die. And this man pleaded that he only wished for one thing. Okay? And the principal, the king asked him to make a wish that whatever you wish will be granted for you, will be given to you, but your life, you are not going to have your life, you will die. Okay, you will die because it is one of the laws guiding our community. And this man told the king that he wouldn't want his family to suffer when he died. Okay, that he will wish that a chest will be given to him. A chest has up to 64 boxes in it. 64 boxes. This is not up to 64, but I'm just giving you a kind of a look of a chest. It has 64 boxes. So the criminal pleaded that they should put just 1 naira in the first box. In the next box, they should put just 1,000 naira in the first box. In the second box, they should double it and put 2,000 naira. In the third box, they should double it and put 4,000 naira. The king, being a wealthy man, was wondering what is 1,000, what is 2,000, what is 4,000. Even if it is 100,000, I can pay. It's a very small money. So, but the criminal was very, very sensible. He knew mathematics very well. He knew how compounding works, because this is compounding. As you're moving, it is rising. And the criminal pleaded that they should put in certain, that you should start with 1,000, followed by 2,000. They should be doubling it until it gets to the 64th box. And the principal said, the king said, what's there? What is 1,000 naira? What is 2,000 naira? I can pay everything now. But even if it is 100,000, I will pay. This king did not know that before he will get to the 64th box, that there is what we call the power of compounding. That before you get to the 64th box, that the criminal is already richer than the whole community. And they started doing it. The king already agreed. They started doing it. When they got to the 64th box, the king was crying already, because the wealth of the man is already greater than the whole community from what he got here. Imagine the next one: 8,000, 16,000, 32,000, 64,000. Before you get to the 64th box is billions of naira, and this king was in trouble. He had no option than to beg the criminal, and the criminal said, no, I am begging you to make me to be alive. You said no. Now it is my turn. Make sure you fulfill your promise, or you kill me. I'm ready to die. Kill me. The criminal was begging to die because he knew he is holding them to ransom. The king said, can we talk? The criminal said, oh yes. The king told him that we can make you to be alive and still give you good amount of money, but for you to spare us this amount of money you are mentioning. At the end of the day, because of compound interest, the criminal was set free. Imagine, because of compound interest, because the community can no longer pay him the amount of money we are talking about. So why did I tell you this story? I'm just trying to tell you the power of compounding, that compound interest is so great. If you don't know it very well, you can be fooled for life. But if you know it very well, it can pay you. So compound interest don't only calculate interest upon the principal alone, it calculates interest on the principal and the interest on interest. Imagine, interest is calculated upon interest. Now, finally, before I summarize, there are key things you need to know when it comes to compound interest. There are terms you need to know when it comes to simple interest and compound interest. They are, so these are the key things you need to know when it comes to compound and simple interest. First of all, you need to know the meaning of principal. Principal is just the amount of money in question. If you save money from the bank and the money is giving you some interest, that amount of money you've saved in the bank is the principal. Let's say here the principal is 2,000 naira. The amount of money saved or lent out gives you the principal. Now, interest is just the additional amount of money one pays for borrowing money, or one earns for saving money. So you see that you pay interest or you earn interest. If you lend out money, you earn interest. If you borrow money, you pay interest. It's an additional amount of money. That is why economists will tell you that interest is just the reward for capital, money. Now we have the amount. The amount is just the sum of principal and interest. Let's say here I lent out 2,000 naira. So my principal is now 2,000 naira. Now the interest is 200 naira. My amount will just be 2,000 naira plus 200 naira. That is amount, which will give me 2,200. So amount is just the sum of principal and interest. Hence, you can write that amount equal to principal plus interest. From this, you can get formulas for principal and interest. Principal is just amount minus interest, and interest is amount minus principal. So you have time. Time is just the duration of repayment. If it took you the 5 years to repay a loan, that is the time, the duration of repayment. But mostly we do the time annually, that is per year. Okay, then we have the rate. Rate is just the percentage of repayment. This rate is very, very important also because it can determine the kind of interest you will pay. If the rate is too high, the interest will be too high. While if the rate is too low, the interest will still be too low. Also, it's very, very important. I give you the formula you can use in calculating simple interest. So simple interest is just the product of principal, rate, and the time all over 100. The essence of this 100 is because the rate is calculated in percentage, or the rate is given in percentage. If not, the simple interest would have been principal times rate times time. Okay. Now, in subsequent videos, we shall begin with simple interest, and when we exhaust it, we go into the compound interest. I will now teach you how to calculate compound interest and give you the formula for compound interest. Thank you so much, and kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me Instagram, Facebook, TikTok if you've enjoyed what you've watched. Thank you.